by 6 or 6 by 4? Are you taking 4 and dividing it by 6, or are you dividing 6 by 4? Am I putting in my calculators, because everyone should have a calculator. There's plenty of calculators up in front. So Connor, make sure you're just on that home screen and not the other. So it says find the unit rate cost per 6-pack. So my question in number 1 is, should I be dividing 6 by 4 or 4 by 6? Which ones are dollars? 6 by 4. So when you divide 6 by 4, what did we get for that answer? $1.50. Someone said, as they were looking at theirs, one of the questions that I had is that people were coming up with theirs and they wanted to put down only 1.5. Well, 1.5 per 6-pack doesn't make sense, and I will need labels tomorrow on your quiz. So I need $1.50 per 1 6-pack. You can write it out in words if you don't want to put it this way, okay? So we're going to keep going through this as we're up here, okay? Next thing, it asks us to write an equation. Johan, what'd you get for your equation?
My equation, I had y equals $1.50 times F.
For a 15 6-packs. Keeping in mind, those of you that are writing this down, that the y is our dollars and the x is our 6-packs. And they now want to find this. And on the quiz tomorrow, I'm going to ask you to use the equation. So I don't want just the answer. So Hunter, if I'm using my equation was what? Y equals 1.5x. So notice again, in our equation, we're not going to put the $1.50, we're just going to put the 1.5. So now, as I look at this equation, Grace, tell me, which variable am I replacing with 15? The x or the y? Okay, so when you look under y, what value? Don't listen to everyone else whispering things. What do we have under y? That's our what? Dollars. And under x is our 6-packs. And we want to know how much will 15 6-packs cost. Are we trying to find the number of 6-packs, or are we trying to find the cost? Connor said it done. We're trying to find the cost. That means we don't know what y is. That means we do know what? We don't know what y is, but we know that x is how much? So we want to replace, right? 15. So here we're going to put y equals, we're going to have what? 1.5 times. So on your quiz tomorrow, I'm going to look for this work. So we have 1.5 times, Grace just said x is 15. What did you end up with for an answer? What's that? 2250. And did you write just 22.5 whole like this? So I'd probably take off a point on that on the quiz, right? Why?
It's not labeled.
And it's not labeled. It says what's the cost? $22.50. You want to have cost is with dollars. So make sure you have your label with that one, okay? As we look at the next one, it says Sally's buying for her restaurant. She has $210 worth of soda. How many 6-packs? So Ellen, I want to use my equation again. Y equals 1.5x. What do I know? The x or the y in this equation? X. So x is how much? Is that 210?
Y.
We know y, right? So I'm going to replace y. Ellen, tell me with what?
210.
210 is equal to 1.5x. Okay? So Riley, I get that part of my equation. Now what do I do?
You divide 210 divided by 1.5.
Yeah, now I had some people putting in their calculator 1.5 divided by 210. On your calculator, please put in 210 divided by. So I want you to write all this down that I'm doing. Right? 210 divided by 1.5. So go back to the page before. And we should end up with, Cassie, what you got?
140.
So x is equal to 140. What are we talking about for our answer with a label? 140.
6 packs.
6 packs. So we again want to answer that tomorrow when we are looking at those.
I got the same answer. I didn't do all that.
I know, but I'm going to ask you tomorrow to show me your equation, so that's why I'm going through it with you.
Okay.
So that you guys will write it down. Even if you didn't, if someone says, well, Mrs. Thompson, I can do it by just taking 210 and dividing by 1.5, and I can take 15 times 1.5, and I can get those answers. That's great. And I'll give you credit for the answer, I just won't give you 4 points. And this is a 4-point question. I'm not going to give you 4 points if you didn't show me how you got it. Does that make sense to everyone for tomorrow? Okay? Because I want to give you all the points, but I want to see kind of what your thinking was or what you did on your calculator. All right, so now we are going to take a look at that second half, and we're looking at this equation. And as we look at this next equation, it said C equals 1.5i. And when we read that, Lucy, what is the C standing for?
Excuse me, fabric.
So C stands for the what?
The fabric.
Okay, you want to read what it says right below that?
Oh, whoops. The verbal F represents the length of the fabric and the R is here representing the constant.
Right, so when we look at C equals 1.25F, F is going to be our yards of fabric, and C is going to be our cost. So I now need to use the equation. So Ryland, I'm writing my equation. C equals 1.25F. Is the 2.5 going to be the F, or is it going to be the C? It's the 2.5, the F, or the C? Thanks, Morgan, but I was calling on. Does that make sense, Ryland? We'll let her give that one, so we're going to substitute in. So everyone should be writing down, we're going to put 1.25, but Morgan, instead of 2.5, we might use what? 2.5. So our cost, again, we figure it out, and what'd you get for an answer?
I got $3.
And I'd probably have rounded it to 3.15. We're probably going to round it up, but I would take 3.12 as correct answer. So now, Jerica, we're going to the next one. It says the fabric we buy costs $5. We have to use our equation. What am I doing? $5 instead of C, because $5 was our cost. So we're going to put 5 equals 1.25F. Jeffrey, once I get my equation, how do I solve it? What do I do on both sides of that to solve it? So I have 1.25 times F, and I want to find what 1F equals. So going back to our equations from the last unit. What do I need to do? Here, the variable was by itself. I just multiplied. This is 1.25. What's happening between 1.25 and F? Everybody, what's happening between 1.25 and F?
Multiply.
It's multiplying. Mr. Olson was telling me in science today that people, when they saw a number next to a variable, they did not know that that was multiplication. Okay? It means when a number is next to the variable, it means multiplication. It's the same in science as it is in math. If you're using equations, that does mean multiplication. So Jeffrey, we said the opposite of multiplying is to do dividing. So Cody, you put it in your calculator yet? If you would, please. 5 divided by 1.25, those of you who haven't done it yet, F is equal to 4, and we want to label it with yards. So when we take our quiz tomorrow, and we're going to take a homework quiz in a few minutes, you want to make sure you have a label with that, okay? I want you, right now, to take, because this said we wanted to find our unit cost, and we were looking at dollars per yard. If I take $5, so just over to the side, take your $5 and divide it by 4, and take $3.13 and divide it by 2.5. Everyone do the first one and then do the second one on your calculator. If you don't have a calculator, grab one in the front. Do that now. Some of you don't still have calculators. Grab a calculator up here or take yours out. This comes out to be 1.25. This one came out to equal 1.25. If I was asking you, what is your additional cost per yard? It should be the unit rate, which was $1.25. If you did not do questions 8, turn it to the back, please. So that I can see the back page. You did not have to do B at all. As you look at this, is it going to be pretty easy to fill in the table?
Yeah.
Okay? The first one in the table, because some of you didn't do it. The first one in the table, Cassidy, should have been under 7, should have been
125.
125. If you didn't do yours now. If you need to use your calculator, use your calculator. And number 13, it should have been what? 2.75. And each time, I'm going to take this times what to get the next number? 2. Times 2 and times 3. So do that on your calculator. Then it says, you want to buy only 1 ear of corn. How much would you charge at each market? So we got to do market A and we need to do market B. I'm finding the unit cost. Rashawn, how do I find the unit cost of 1 ear of corn at market A? What do you do, Rashawn? Doesn't matter if you had it done or not. How do I find the unit cost? I want to find the cost per 1 ear of corn. Divide what by what?
125.
I'm going to take $1.25 and divide it by how much? No. Come. Market A.
7.
Divide by 7. What'd you get? If you didn't do yours, do this. If you didn't write it down, write this down. When it says buy 1 ear of corn, how much is the cost? What'd you get for me?
117.
Point what?
117.
8.7. So 0.17 or 0.18? I'd take either one. I'd take 0.17 or 0.18. Cassidy, question.
No.
Okay. Then down here, company A it says, and company B. So the reason I am not doing company B is for some people, they didn't do any of this, and so I want them to do it before we put the answers up. But you will finish these in class. So if you haven't started filling those in, I'm trying to give you time. Some of you still haven't written anything or done anything. But Cassidy, equation for B, or put equation for A. What'd you get? I know. 10, the equation. Y equals, okay, 0. Our unit rate. And it says, does the unit cost per ear show in our equation? Yes. I had a bunch of people thinking they should use 1.25 and 7. They thought this should be 1.25, and then we should have X, and we should have 7. No, unit rate, and we rewrite our equations, it's the unit rate per 1. This was how much we were charged for 7 ears, not for 1 ear, okay? So, when you are doing that, so sometimes, some of you in class will need to finish this worksheet before you go on to your computer, what we're gonna be doing. We are gonna be taking a homework quiz. Guys, everybody.
6.32.
$6.32, right? In our table, where do I put it?
1.
At 1. What do I put in 0?
0.
0. This should be $12.64 and 18.96. Equation. Chris, what's my equation going to be? Y equals what? What's our unit rate? Nope. What's my unit rate? 6.32, so what am I going to write for my equation? Y equals 6.32x, right? So if you had those ones, if you had those answers, put a 4 out of 4 on the top. If you didn't, you're correcting yours. If you didn't, and you just missed maybe 1 thing or 2 things, put your score out of, put 3 out of 4, right? You were really close. If you had nothing like this, put a 1 out of 4 on your quiz, okay? So everyone should have a score on the top of their paper right now. Yes?
I'll put 6.32 pounds per copy for 3.
You put
So I have to
what?
put the X in.
If you put dollars here, I won't mark it wrong here, but I will tomorrow on the quiz. Does that make sense? So tomorrow, when you write this equation, there's no dollars in this part, there's no pounds. You're gonna use y equals 6.32x. Yes, I agree that this is my dollars and this is the pounds back here. But when we write our equation, we're just gonna have y equals, okay? So the next thing I'm gonna ask you to do tomorrow on the quiz is I'm gonna then say, okay, so right now, I want you to just turn this over and I want you to make a graph of this data. So, I want you on your graph paper, right? I don't want you to use the whole graph paper, but so you have this graph paper, I want you to just make a graph right here. And the key thing is, what do you need to have on the bottom of your graph? So you're turning your paper over and you're doing this right now. So, what should our label be on the bottom? What should be my independent variable? The pounds. So we want to write the word pounds, right? And what should I have going up here? Money, cost, dollars, right? You can set your scale however you like. You could set it going up by 5s. I wouldn't probably go up to 10. I would go 5 or less, right? So put your scale going up for your dollars. And over here, you're going to have your pounds. And that's probably going to go by the numbers 1, 2, 3, right? And please plot your points. Should it be proportional?
Yes.
Yes. Okay? So on your quiz, you're doing this right now. On your quiz paper, where's your quiz paper? Nope, I didn't. I didn't take anything. So you're graphing this right here. Okay? Have you started your graph? Okay, start your graph. So we're going to graph this. So tomorrow on the quiz, this is what it's going to look like. Put that away. I don't want you doing that right now. Set it to the side and do this on the back of your quiz. Do this on your quiz. On your graph paper, on your quiz, because you're going to hand this in to me. So I'm going to be able to see how you did it paying attention as we're doing this part of it. So we wanted to graph it. You're going to set the scale. If I'm looking at your graph, depending on where you put your points, I should see at 1 that it's at 632, at 2 it's at 12, at 3, right? And this really should be a line, correct? You have to set your scale. You got to put in the numbers. You might have gone up by 3s, right? Turn your graph paper over. We're not done. Now it says use your equation to find how much is 8 pounds. So my equation that I need to write down, Timothy, is what?
6.3.
Y equals
6.32 times x.
Okay? In this equation, x equals 8. Jericho, what am I putting in for the pounds? Am I putting it in for x or for y? X. And if you look up above at this table, right? Look at, this was our x, this is our y. Pounds, cost. Pounds, cost. So, when I look for your work tomorrow on the quiz, this is what I'm going to look for. I'm going to look for you telling me y equals 6.32 times 8. Make sure you label your answer with dollars. Connor, question 6. It says use the equation. Tell me the equation you're going to write first. Tell me the equation I need to write down first when I go to solve number 6. X. What do I know my dollar of $94.80? Is that my Y or my X? That's my Y. So tomorrow on the quiz, I'm going to put 94.80 equals 6.32. Janessa, what am I doing to solve for X? Dividing both sides by 6.32. Okay? So on your quiz, you're going to have all of this written down. If you didn't write this down, please do so right now. Okay? If you didn't write that down, please do so right now. The other